Welcome to Module 4, Lesson 11. Today we're going to do some word problems. This first problem is can be worked out in a number of ways. We'll try two different methods and then we'll look at kind of how silly it might be. Matilda had 20 pints of green paint. She uses 2/5 of it to paint a landscape and 3/10 of it while painting a clover. She decides that for her next painting she will need 14 pints of green paint. How much more paint will she need to buy? So we could do this. We could break this down into two different problems. We could have we can find. Let's see. If I have 20 pints and I want to find out how much she used for the landscape, I'll put an L there. I need to break this into fifths, and she's using 2/5 of that. So 20 divided into fifths is 4 pints per unit. I have 2 units, 2 groups of 4 pints. That means my landscape used 8 pints of paint. That must be some painting because 8 pints is a gallon of paint. So it must be a mural or something. Next we need to figure out how much for the clover. So again, I can do I gotta get my pen here. I can take my 20 pints and I can break that into tenths. And I know that I want 3 of them. And that's my question. And so if I take 20 pints and I divide it by 10 equal units, I get 2 pints per unit. And I have 3 groups of, I have 3 units, so I have 3 groups of 2 pints, and that is 6 pints for the clover. That's 3/4 of a gallon of paint for 1 clover. My goodness. So anyway, I've used a total of 8 pints for the landscape plus 6 pints for the clover, for the monster clover, and that gives me 14 pints of green paint used. So if I started with 20 pints and I took away the 14 pints, that means I'm left with 6 pints of paint. Now it says for my next project I need 14 pints. Well, if I have 6, that means I need 8 more pints. I'm running out of space here. 8 more pints are needed because 8 plus 6 would give me the 14 pints. So my answer is she would need 8 more pints of paint. Now perhaps a more clever way to solve this problem would you recognize that if I have 20 pints of green paint and we're going to use 2/5 for the landscape and 3/10, well, a tenth is half of a fifth, so 1, 2, 3 tenths for the clover, the monster green clover. And then so if I want to know what she would have left over, then I would just need to find 1, 2, 3 tenths of 20. I could do it in one shot. So let's see, 20 pints divided into 10 equal parts is 2 pints per unit, as we said before. And we have 3 units, groups of 2 pints, equals 6 pints left over. And as we said before, she needs 14, so what plus 6 pints equals 14? Well, 8 pints is how much she needs. And that's a little more neat way to do that. That's all for today's lesson.